Welcome to the BluesGuitar.Com show, episode 32. Today is Thursday, July 18th. I'm your host, Claude Johnson. With me, as always, Mr. Silvio.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
I am doing pretty good. How you doing today? Got my coffee,
I'm good.
so
Yeah,
We'll start
I
with
have
that.
mine too.
yeah. You know, the greatest blues players were great not because of their technique, but because of their inspiration. So,
Right. Yeah.
I was doing I was taking some lessons about a year ago or so with this guy Steve Masso. He's a jazz guy. Anyway, he had me doing some blues solo over some backing track, and he was like critiquing it, and he's like first of all, it's very influenced by Stevie Ray Vaughan, like which in his mind was not a good thing because it was too pentatonic. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like one of those things. It's like I never really learned that many Stevie Ray licks or anything. It's just like I think he's one of those guitarists that you can't help but it's just kind of like B.B. King. You can't help but have some of the sound creep into your playing. But like I never tried to copy Stevie Ray or anything like that. But some of the approach or the sound, just you can't help it, right?
Right. Maybe if you play some fast pentatonic, you will sound like him, right?
Well, I was very influenced by Hendrix, and I know, and also Stevie Ray was. So sometimes, like when you listen to like a lot of the same, some people say Stevie Ray was like half Albert King, half Jimi Hendrix, and I listened to a lot of Albert King too, and a lot of Freddie King and B.B. King. So yeah, sometimes you can't get away from these greats, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, another thing is like I mean, there's only so many blues riffs, like so. I think it's like people think of music as like infinite combinations, but there's like only so many ways you could play like a 4-note blues pentatonic lick or something, you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Albert King would play those licks, you know. And it's like, you know, he's fifth, fourth, root, back to the root. It's like, okay, there's not that many different ways you could do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would
Yeah.
listen to like, I would hear Clapton play some riffs like, let's see, trying to think. Yeah, there's. He would play like a sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Like a melodic figure, like where he would hit, he would hit that, and then I would listen to Gary Moore, and he would play it like this. So there's like he would hit this one twice and then the root, but there's
Right,
like
yeah.
there's not that many different ways you could do it. You know what I mean? So you're gonna end up sounding like someone. But yeah.
Yeah, or you had the B.B. King, right? That.
Right. Right. But that also, the first one you played sounded like that. Sounded a little bit like the Gary Moore one, but he probably got it from B.B. King.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like Stevie Ray stuff, a while ago I was playing in a band. We covered that song Crossfire. And there was one sort of like idea, like I'll probably butcher it or whatever, but it sort of crept in my playing. It was like something like phrasing like that. So that sort of crept in, but yeah. Anyway, it's interesting.
Yeah, those are the basic.
Right,
Licks,
they're just
right?
all basic pentatonic stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, one day we should do a show only with basic licks.
Basic
right?
licks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like this one, right?
Right.
That's the.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think who I heard. That's almost like a Jimmy Page kind of lick.
Or this one. Right?
Yeah, I mean Hendrix will play that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I mean Hendrix would play that. I'm trying to think where he got that from. You know, I don't know. I know he was very influenced by Buddy Guy, but I don't know that he would play licks like that. So maybe that really does come from Hendrix. You know?
Right. Or this one. More rock and roll.
That's
right?
like a Chuck Berry type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
But I want to go back and study some of the old masters. Like that's been on my sort of to-do list for a while. Like last year when I was 2023, I was getting deep into blues guitar. My first mission was just learn a boatload of songs, so I did that. But I still have to go back and sort of do a deep dive on all the old cats like T-Bone Walker and
maybe you could do a course on 100 licks or
maybe
right?
Yeah. I started studying a little bit looking at some T-Bone Walker stuff and how he would use this chord like the minor 7 flat 5 and he would do cool 9 chord voicings just like this.
Yeah, that's like right. Like a 9 chord, right?
Yeah, like a 9 chord. In this case, it'd be like without the 5th here, but yeah.
Right.
Nice voice.
Without the root, I would say.
Oh yeah. Without the root and without the 5th, it's just the 3rd, 7th, and 9th.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. This show is taking a weird direction. We never plan out these shows, honestly. We used to when Sylvia and I first started. We were brand new to this. We're like, okay, here's the agenda. First, we're going to talk about. First, we're going to do the lick of the day. Then, we're going to talk about some guitars. And then by the 3rd show, it was like, we have enough to talk about, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes I still have some ideas and stuff. I try to prepare for a few minutes, or a lot of times it's like because I'm still I'm very active and still working on the craft myself. So it's like whatever I worked on yesterday, I can talk about today. Like whatever, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So
that's good.
yeah. Are you still working on a lot of your licks, or where are you at these days with your art of the craft?
Well, I'm not playing a lot, so I'm not playing. I don't know. I lost interest a few years ago, so I play a little bit each day, but not a lot. I don't practice anymore.
That's depressing. But
yeah,
for you guys listening, I mean, Silvio was at the top of the. He was at the elite levels like a decade ago. He was at Guitar Idol competition like twice. So he's allowed to say that he only plays a little bit. I'm still trying to get there. So.
But yeah, I'm not playing. I'm not composing music. Also,
you need to work on a new album, dude.
Yeah, but.
Well, let's work on my blues album. You could play on it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't feel inspired to create music. I don't know.
You need to get into the blues. That's why.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully, I'm influencing you a little bit to get more into the blues.
Yeah, you do.
Cool. And like all these old covers that I'm doing. I mean, maybe that's stuff you haven't heard before. Like this Willie Dixon stuff. And
yeah, I never heard those. those two before. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. So yesterday I was talking about rhythms, and I had some thoughts to continue with that. So I came up with this etude, like for eighth notes. You know, so I'm not going to cover that whole thing again, but I'll probably make a couple YouTube videos when we're done this. But just to finish that idea, then I'll talk about the 16th notes. Now this might sound slow, like these are quarter notes instead of eighth notes, but I'm thinking of this as in like 6/8 at a slow tempo. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like 6/8 technically means 6 beats and the eighth note gets the beat. You could call it 6/4 if you wanted, but
Right.
usually you don't see that, right? It's only 6/8, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like one way to vary it is just vary the notes, but another way is like with the rhythm. So it's like when I do like with this form, and if you missed it, go back yesterday and watch the show, or I just did a lesson called Rhythm Etude where I'm teaching this. But anyway, the form starts with 6 chords and then 6 single notes. That's 2 bars, and then you do it again. So one way to change it up is like instead of 6, you play 5, and then you'll do your lick 1 beat earlier. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you can do 4, 2, 3, 4. Then 3. And then so on. You can go all the way down to like 0, you know. You can do 1. Let's see, 1, 2. And by the time you're on 1, you can go, don't play any chords. Then you could go the other way and play 7. And so on. Take it through the 1, 4, 5. Go up to 10. That's just, I guess, just two notes, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's a great exercise.
Yeah.
Now let me get into the 16th notes. This is where it gets kind of interesting. So I was sort of struggling with this because it didn't really sound musical. I was trying to throw them in like. I was like, it's all right. So here's but I did find a couple ways to sort of make it sound a little more natural. All right. So one way is, let's see. I'll do like. It's sort of like where you come in that makes it musical. So okay. So one way is, here's the formula. So eight chords. You come in. You're coming into the last one, and another thing that makes this work is like, because you're sort of jumping into a faster tempo, so you can repeat a note. So I found like this one works, like the 5th. So basically, So the last part of that 3rd beat, you hit 2, and then so you end up playing like 8 single notes. So like this, like. Let me try it again. And then just so in the turnaround, you just play chords, and then on the 1, 2, like 2 chords. So basically, the idea is like, yeah, you're just replacing the last part of one of the bars with a, and then followed by 16th notes. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, very good.
Another variation is you could come in on the 6th bar, so you just play 5 of these. Like, so if you don't want to play so long on the chord, you can go. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1. But then you have extra space at the end. So what I found works is like you play the same like 8 notes and then a couple of the 8th notes like this, like. So, do it again. Ah. Another thing this is tricky because I'm like plucking these because it sounds better, but it's easier to just pick it if you want. Like sometimes that works, but anyway, let me just try it again with the plucking. So that kind of idea. And then when you get to the 1. It's the same idea. So you can think of these two as like the same thing as like when I'm playing them the first time around. I just play the extra 3 and then 2. Anyway, you start playing these like after a while, this sound sort of gets in your head, like these. Go back to that one, and then you can even play the triplets, but then it's like it's separated in your mind.
Yeah, nice.
Those are triplets, which I didn't get to yet. Which is like confusing because it's like you're already in a triplet, so it's like the triplet of the triplet. It's like a 9th note or something
Maybe
like that.
Yeah, a good way to practice that is with the backing track, right? Maybe.
Maybe you could. Yeah, you can always practice with a backing track, but I've gotten away from backing tracks so much these days. Excuse me, but yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so another thing that helped me get into the groove of this was like I played something like this, like so it's just like very basic, like 1, 2, and then on the 3rd beat I hit like just 2 bass notes, and I feel like if I play that, like I feel the groove more. And like I also, and then from that I discovered that like the 3rd beat makes a lot of sense. It's like 1, 2, 3 in. So just hitting that 16th on the 3rd beat specifically. And you can do stuff like, or even something like. You could just do it on the, like out of 12 beats, you could just do it on the 3rd if you want, or like the 3rd, the 6th, and the 9th. So one exercise could be like, you just play 16th notes on the 3rd and 8ths everywhere else. Or like, like I said, on the 3, 6, and 9. So that's another one. So again, those are just the triplets right there. But anyway, so that's my thoughts on rhythmic stuff. But I really want to follow this approach like for myself, just trying to get more into this. I feel like that's going to be a good thing to study. Just get more riffage into the fingers with all that stuff. What do you think?
Yeah, that's good ideas. Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of stuff you can come up with those kind of things, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. I was watching an interview with Pat Metheny, and he was saying how like you could study rhythm for years, like just rhythm.
Right.
Which it was like, it sort of blew my mind. I was like, I didn't realize there was like that much to rhythm. Because in a sense, it sort of seems simple, right? It's just like, oh, there's eighth notes, there's quarter notes, but there's so many ways to put it together.
Yeah.
Sometimes things will, like one rhythm will sound weird with certain notes, but it'll sound perfect with other notes. You know what I mean? Like the notes sort of like, and it's, or even like the percussive stuff, will change whether a rhythm makes sense or not.
Right.
One other thing is like sometimes with these blues rhythms, it's like bending the notes, sort of like what I just said. Like it makes sense. Like it'll make a lot more sense if you throw in those bends. One riff I was playing around with the other day, kind of unrelated to these rhythms, but just bending up to the fifth, which is sounds just like a very simple idea, but it could make or break the riff. Versus, which is okay, but something like that. Anyway, so those are the ideas. Those are the ideas of the day. I'll probably do a separate video about those rhythms. Maybe one video with the how to work on the eighth notes, like a follow up from yesterday's, and then do another one with the 16th notes. But yeah, this is all like supposed to be over like a slower tempo, Anyway, but then once you get it down with the slower tempo, you can maybe apply it to a faster tempo.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, what else? What else can we talk about? You got some shred ideas for us? I'll take another sip of coffee.
Yeah, maybe some pentatonics licks, like for example, this idea. Yeah, is for example we are in B minor,
right?
With this double barring.
Double barring, I love it.
Yeah. Very simple.
So you should explain that idea. Some people don't know what we're talking about. So double barring. Usually when you bar, you're barring with your first finger. So double barring is like maybe you're barring with the first, but then you're also barring with the second finger as well, or it could be a third finger,
it could be with any finger, but I think it's
so are you doing this with your second finger or your third?
No, with my third.
So that's the basic double barring lick.
Basic, yeah, and also I'm moving to the next position with the slide here.
So you're not even really barring the first position, you're just barring. Right?
And right. I'm using
But you're not doing this.
No. In this particular lick, no.
Right.
but you can do this.
Right.
But in the first lick,
Right.
I did.
So okay, so this.
Yeah. And then slide here. Yeah. You can use the third finger or the fourth. Yeah. The third finger or the fourth, as you want.
Yeah.
So it's and I also
So it's
like
it's
to
like
do-
you're doing this, or what is
No,
the
no.
pattern again? How many notes is
It-
the whole thing?
it's the same pattern. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4
Five.
notes. 4
No, but then when you
because
slide, you're hitting one more note, right? Like
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Or you go back here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5-note pattern, right?
Yeah, I think it's 5. Yeah. And I also like to do this. Or
Right.
huh?
I mean, some of these like five. When it's like 5 notes, it's like it gets confusing, sort of, right? Excuse me. Like,
Yeah,
like,
but
I always want everything to fit nicely into like 4 notes or something.
yeah, right.
1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's one of those things you got to get the shred technique going first, and then you'll fit it in.
Right. Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just gotta work
And you
out
can go up to the scale. Yeah, on this position we are not playing pentatonic, right? Because pentatonic will be here. But it's not comfortable to do. So I just play the minor. Right?
So you're always playing it where you have like those 2 strings are on the same fret.
Right, yeah.
Like that.
And then from here I jump to the 15th fret. So and you can play descending like right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
And then when you were doing the double, when you were doubling up, it was just like this.
Right. And you can start from here, for example.
Yeah. I feel like I need to work on just the basic hybrid picking shred technique, like just boom, 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 like that, right?
Right. Yeah.
But this is a good exercise to do that.
Yeah. Or this one that we did on the first show. I think it was the.
Right. Yeah, I still remember
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
So you can combine that one with this new one, for example. Right?
Yeah, that sounds cool. I feel like that's like sounds like your style. Sounds like
Yeah,
Silvio. So this one was a. Was that it?
Yeah, that's
Right,
it.
right. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do it like this. This would be like 4 notes, right? Or is it too fast? You're sliding like. I guess it's not good because you're hitting the same note again.
No, it's. I think it's 5 notes.
Right. Yeah.
But the lick. Yeah, but the lick is so fast that you don't think if it's 5 or 4 notes.
Right. Yeah, I feel like when you're playing these, when you got the technique down like you do, and you're playing really fast and fluid, it becomes like a texture. You don't.
Right.
The notes don't stand out, so it's like you can just kind of flow with it and just keep going through the bars, which is cool.
Yeah, it's right. That's right.
Cool.
Also, you can add more notes. Like instead of you can do. Right.
Right.
Also, another note here.
Hey, what? Yeah.
Yeah, those are licks from that I grabbed from Richie Kotzen.
Cool.
And Greg Howe also, yeah.
Hey, I was thinking for these YouTube videos, if I don't know, like, but if I change my zoom to the speaker view, is it going to record you, or is it going to record the main speaker? Because I feel like maybe our show could be better if it was just one person on the screen. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I just, as an experiment, at the end of this, I just changed my view to a speaker view instead of gallery view.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna make a difference or not. We'll check the video at the end. We'll check the YouTube and see.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. Anyway, I feel like I'm slow with these hybrid picking stuff. I'm not up to your speed, so I gotta really work on that. So.
Yeah, it's a matter of practice as everything.
Right. Another thing I want to practice is just my trills. You know, I feel like I could be so much stronger with that. You know, they're not great. So yeah. So
yeah,
anyway,
I don't do a lot of that, but I like to play more like three notes, like.
Right. I don't do a lot of it either, but sometimes I want to be able to do it, and it's like I feel like I should be a little better at that. Ingve does a good trill. Steve Ray does a good trill. Hendrix also.
Yeah.
That wasn't too bad, but yeah. So yeah, gotta work on it. Anyway, the work never ends. All right, guys, have an awesome day. Check the link in the description. We'll hook you up with our freebies, and leave us a comment.